Awesome. So Alex, man, thanks for connecting with me. Would love to, just the fact that you've been able to create such a an impressive Amazon FBA business, man. It's been really exciting to connect with you. Just hear about your story, how you were able to just build and create this business. Um, you know, I would love to hear just what inspired you to pursue this path and just start an Amazon FBA business itself, of all the other million ways to make $1 million.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. Well, Christian, thanks for having me on. Appreciate this opportunity. I love kind of talking about Amazon, and just really utilizing kind of ways to make money online. A lot of people, I kind of talk to my relatives and stuff like that. I tell them what I do, and they're kind of like, are you really making any money doing that?
Yeah.
Just because it's kind of such a new form of making an income. So yeah, I really kind of got started on this whole e-commerce journey. I would even bring it all the way back to when I was 13. I started selling on eBay.
Okay.
I just started kind of going through my house, finding old video games or anything like that to list on eBay. And I really enjoyed it. Like, it was fun. I kind of had this kind of little business going. And then about a year in, PayPal found out that I had an eBay account and I wasn't 18. So they shut my account down. And I spoke with my mother. I'm like, all right, can you open an eBay account and I'm going to sell under you?
Yeah.
Because I was kind of got hooked right away. You get your first sale and you're like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Someone wants to buy this used video game from me. So I was kind of blown away by that whole concept. And I packed it up in the house, I shipped it. And, eventually I ran out of stuff that was in my house. I kind of just scraped an old PS2 or an old Nintendo DS, and I was just kind of selling whatever. So I even got to the point where I started advertising to local neighbors saying, hey, do you have any extra stuff laying around? We'll take care of it on eBay. And our commission is 20% on whatever profit we make on it. And I started kind of collecting a few clients. I ran into, someone that was selling some high-end electronic pieces that did really,
Okay.
really well. And it was interesting how the whole thing kind of worked out. And then, I kept on, focusing on high school, kind of getting into the high school years and really trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my life. And during high school, I became a caddy. I started, carrying golf bags,
Yeah. Yeah.
and just really trying to figure out what I wanted to do. We even started, my freshman year of college, I started a company. It completely flopped. It
I
was
can't
a
with this.
it was a subscription. This was when freshman year, I'd say like 2015, 2016. I started like a prescription perfume and cologne company. And we would kind of, the idea was to, for 20 bucks a month, you get a different cologne of a different type of scent that was like a high end Dior, Chanel, any of those type of things.
Did you get this idea from Scentbird, or was this like before Scentbird, after Scentbird?
This was like before Scentbird, and
Or
Scentbird did it
original
perfectly.
Scentbird idea, yes.
Yeah, yeah. And then we start seeing Scentbird pop up. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is what we're trying to do. And honestly, like, we bought all the packaging from Alibaba. We spent 10 grand on bringing everything in, and we couldn't sell a single one. Couldn't sell a single one. And I got to the point where I had a business partner, and honestly, I felt like I was doing the majority of the work. So I said, hey, I want out of this business, give me 500 bucks and it's yours. And he gave me 500 bucks. I was out, and I'm not sure exactly what he did with it. I kind of lost contact with him. But that was kind of this trial and error of, all right, that business didn't work. Let me switch to this sort of Amazon model. And how I really discovered the Amazon model is that I was on Indeed one day. I came across a distributor that was looking to hire a sales rep. And the criteria was, all right, we're looking for someone that has experience with eBay and Amazon. And I said, all right, I've done eBay for a while. Let me apply. I got the job as a distributor. We were selling, I kind of got the job. We were selling pallets of merchandise to different clients that were maybe brick and mortar, maybe guys that were exporting, and maybe some guys that were selling on Amazon. So, at one point I was selling pallets of like Dyson vacuums and all sorts of product like that. And I was making 15 bucks an hour. So at that point, I really said, all right, I'm selling to all these guys that are on Amazon. Why don't I just sell on Amazon? And I really kind of took that leap of faith and I said, all right, I'm going to do that. I'm just going to go straight to Amazon and start this Amazon business. And really, while I was working there for 15 bucks an hour, I was always picking up broken phones on Facebook Marketplace, like the
Yeah.
iPhone 5, 6, 7, and 8s. We'd fix the screens out. I would kind of, lowball all these people on their cracked phones because they just got a new phone. We would pop the screen out and we would sell it back on Marketplace because then we would avoid the fees. It was straight cash. And I even found myself doing that while I was working at my job.
When you said you're selling a marketplace, Amazon Marketplace or
Facebook Marketplace.
all right, cool.
Yeah. So we would be picking up cracked phones through Facebook Marketplace and then reselling them back on Facebook Marketplace while I was kind of doing my 9 to 5 job while I was in college. So I had a job, I was making 15 bucks an hour, I was still in school, and then I was kind of on the weekends doing this kind of flipping high side hustle thing. And then it got to the point where I was making more money flipping phones than sitting at a desk. And I said, all right, let me just start flipping phones and look into this Amazon game. And that's kind of where it got started. I started Amazon in 2017, officially with opening my business. And we just tried to reach out to local distributors, reaching out to brands, looking to open up accounts. And we were able to open some good accounts. We were able to open some accounts that are no longer taking any more e-commerce guys on. There gets to a point where a brand gets so many applications where they say, all right, we got our set of 5 or 10 guys. Let's close the doors and just push the products to them. Everyone will sign a minimum advertised price agreement and everyone stays at 30 bucks and everyone makes money. So that's kind of what we started to get into in 2017. But honestly, I didn't have any money. I was starting this business with the 500 bucks that I got from my buddy. I just lost 10 grand in caddy money. And I was kind of like, all right, I need money to make this business work. So it was a slow start for many years, slow start, 2017 was slow, I'd say 2017, maybe we did 100,000 in sales for the year. So that's
what, maybe
10 grand a month
in profit sort of then, or
$1,000 a month profit,
all right, fair.
And then the following year we did 500. And then after that, we did 1 million. From there, we did 2.5 to 3.5 to about maybe 4.5 to 5 this year. So we've slowly kind of just put every dollar back in to just compound it. And the ultimate goal is to get to 10.
I love that. So you mentioned the job you found on Indeed where you're working for just 15 an hour, selling things that were on pallets. I'm just assuming this guy was buying pallets, then having you unpackage the pallets, list everything on Amazon, then resell it. Was it kind of like that?
I was in the sales department. So our job was to reach out to possible leads or have that people would call in looking to open up a wholesale account. And we would basically say, all right, we just got this list in of shoes of these Dr. Martens. We have these quantities, are you interested in any of them? So I was on the sales side of constantly talking with people, trying to close a deal and making something work.
Yeah.
Then they would buy it. We would ship the pallet to their warehouse, or sometimes they would pick it up.
All right, cool. The reason I was asking that out or asking that question is when you're just getting started with your Amazon, just figuring out how you're going to make it work. How did you sort of find your niche? Were you just sort of doing the model where you're buying pallets and maybe selling all the individual things in the pallets? You mentioned you were able to get a few brand deals, or were you able to just go straight to finding a niche? Or what all did that look like for you to just find out what your niche is and how to begin selling that?
Yeah, that's a great question. We really don't have a niche. Like, we'll sell in any category. We're in the grocery category. We're in the pool category. We're in patio and garden. We're in electronics. Like, anything where there's that type of margin to be made, I'm interested. We really try to avoid shoes with high return rates and stuff like that. But for the most part, I'm open to selling anything. That's really, if there's margin in it, I'm interested.
No, I love that. So, building $1 million business like this is a massively impressive feat. Could you highlight some of the key strategies or just tactics that you use to scale your Amazon business with just this year-over-year growth you were able to experience?
Yeah. So really, I think what comes down to the success is our ability to really pay ourselves a minimum salary. Even today, I'm only paying myself around 5 to 6 grand a month
Yeah,
because I'm so focused on that end goal of hitting that 10 million mark. I could pay myself 10 or 15 grand a month and kind of be where I'm at, but honestly, I have a bigger vision for what I'm building. And in order to get there, I need to be frugal. I need to be investing all the profits to build that out. So I always tell people, like, when they're just starting off in this business, you shouldn't be pulling anything from the business. You should either have a regular 9 to 5 and start this as a side hustle, run it for a year, keep the profits in the business, and then take that leap. Because there's so many people that will, all right, maybe their business makes 5 grand and they paid themselves 5 grand. There's going to be no growth and you'll end up closing the business because of it. Because one issue where you send an item and the listing disappears. These are the factors that people don't really think about when selling on Amazon. We just sent in about 200 of these kitchen knives into Amazon, and the listing just went blank. It became a restricted item. I guess it went against some sort of terms and conditions, but the listing was up for years.
yeah.
But I just sent in 200 pieces. Listing went dog paged. And now I have to remove them from my inventory and figure out, is this going to go on eBay? How are we going to recoup this cash back? Because if you don't, that's another loss in the business.
No, I completely understand that. Selling on Amazon does require just a lot of understanding of the Amazon rules and just the ability to adapt to their ever-changing algorithm, their
Yeah.
policy. How do you stay updated with these changes and just optimizing your business?
Honestly, it's a constant battle with them. We're constantly battling account health issues where a brand's accusing us of a fake item, but the only reason they're accusing us of a fake item is because they don't want us on the listing or they have someone that they're already working with. So we're constantly dealing with this battle. I was just talking to a friend of mine who got a counterfeit complaint from the computer company called Razer. They make like mouses and those cool computers
Yeah,
and the
I remember
keyboards.
they make those super thin phones from back in the day.
Oh yeah, that was Motorola. This is
Oh,
like a keyboard company.
all right,
But
yeah, I hear you.
they didn't want any Amazon sellers, so they started blasting all these counterfeit complaints, and all the inventory was locked up. Then there's people hiring lawyers to go up against Razer and say, hey, this is a false accusation. We're going to have to get lawyers involved, and lawyers get things drafted, and it becomes a big thing. So constantly navigating with, all right, can this go on Amazon? Is the brand okay with me going on Amazon? The main reason these brands don't like us Amazon sellers is because we bring the price down from 30 to 15. And that ruins the brand reputation. And then there's the retailer that's trying to sell the item at 30, that when someone walks in the store, they're like, oh, it's on Amazon for 15. I'll see you later. Then the retailer goes, oh, why are these on Amazon for 15? Then they get yelled at the Amazon sellers. Why are you listing it for 15? You have to be up at 30. So there's this huge thing that we kind of move around where they don't want us, they hate Amazon guys, and we have to kind of convince them to say, hey, if you want it at 30, we'll keep it at 30. We know there's a couple guys that are on this listing. We can work and help you to get them off the listing and try to control this listing and make sure everything's running smooth. Make sure the photos are updated. Make sure we have videos.
Just
Create a
make
brand page. So be an asset to them, really. That should be the focus.
No, I hear that 1000%. Just being able to really convince these businesses and companies that, hey, us being able to sell your products on Amazon is really going to benefit you in the long run. It really is important just for everyone to be able to come to an agreement of finding that basement price to sell their items. It's always horrible when you have just that one seller who wants to drop the price down and start like a pricing war, killing the listing for everyone else.
I know.
Or just like you mentioned, just making the company mad that the items are being listed so far below the retail value.
Yeah.
With all the with it over the past few years of your Amazon, what are some of the lessons and mistakes or setbacks you just had along the way that have just yeah, what are just some of the lessons and setbacks you've had?
Yeah. So, couple years ago, a real setback and issue we had is that we had overhired our staff. We had too many staff, not having a correct flow, and we did 3 million in sales and we made about 85 grand, which is not good on 3 million.
Yeah, no,
And I
1,000 hear that.
I spoke with my like CPA and she said, you know, your payroll was 250 grand. You have to cut back your employees. And I kind of took a look into the business. I said, all right, you know, we had people that were walking around the warehouse looking for stuff to prep. People were kind of all over the place. There was no management in place. So we fixed all that. We got rid of 3 or 4 people. We're down to a core group of 4 employees. We have one manager in charge of those 3 employees. And we make sure that from the moment these preppers get in, they're labeling products. They're not looking for products. All the product is laid out the night before. You're going to be doing, when you come in tomorrow, you're doing what's on this cart, this, and this. This cart or this pallet is going to keep you busy all day. And that really increased our production and lowered our payroll. So really having systems in place is so important when you get to the scaling point. You know, I was always doing this on my own. So
Yeah.
kind of hiring employees for the first time, we ran into some errors, and you know, the important part of that is being able to fix those errors and come back even stronger. And that's what we did.
No, I hear you 1,000%. Scaling a business really does involve just hiring and managing a team. How did you approach this team building and delegation and finding who's the manager for your Amazon FBA business? And how did you figure out how to organize everything?
So my current manager used to be a prepper of mine, and he's been working with me for 3 or 4 years. I saw that he cared a lot about the business and that, you know, he treated it like it was his business. So I decided, all right, let me offer this guy a manager position to be in charge of these other workers. And he was happy with it. Now he doesn't have to prep items. He's more of overseeing the prep and even helping me with some of my items, my tasks. Whether that's kind of working with seller investigators who helps us with reimbursements or other types of tasks that I need to get done during the day that honestly my time is not worth it. It's better focused on sourcing and really growing the business.
I hear that. So you've mentioned about your warehouse a few times. At one point, did you just take this from just you yourself to growing to a warehouse, to eventually growing to a team? Where did the warehouse eventually, come involved for you? How long did it take for you to want to get to that warehouse? Was that like a first year thing? Did you
Yeah,
start
so
with a storage unit, or what was that process like?
it's funny, in 2017, when I just started the business, my parents had a huge basement and it was like concrete floor. And there were steps from the garage. You can get down into the basement. And that's where I set up everything. The bubble wrap, the craft paper.
Yeah.
And I would work with distributors, bring the stuff down in the basement. And I even have old photos of this stuff that I have to be posting and stuff like that, because it's crazy to see
Just
just
the
a garage.
progress you had.
Yeah, garage full of stuff, of just stuff that I prepped. After about a year and a half doing that, and my mom kind of saying, all right, the neighbors are looking at us. There's trucks showing up every day. You need to find a spot to run this business. I think it was on Facebook one day, and I saw someone, hey, I'm looking to sublease part of my warehouse spot over by Hudson County in New Jersey. And I said, I messaged him, says, hey, I'm interested. Can I come check it out? So I met the guy. He was also an Amazon seller, which was cool. And he had 1,000 square feet. And I said, hey, I'll take half of that. We'll split it right down the middle. I'll take half. You're on the back, I'm in the front. And, I had a loading dock. And that was huge to contact a distributor. And they say, oh, do you have a loading dock? Yeah, we have a loading dock. We're at a commercial address. It gives us that edge. And, I didn't tell them how big that I had 500 square feet. But, that was another topic. So that's kind of where we transitioned into that. And that was probably 2018, 2019. I got into that smaller space. Then we kind of rolled into COVID 2020.
Yeah.
COVID was great for Amazon guys. You know, I know people that made a ton of money during COVID. We did pretty good ourselves. And the really interesting about the COVID is that the Small Business Association, the SBA, came out with a EIDL loan, a program. So a lot of these sellers, and a lot of people don't talk about this, a lot of these larger sellers got EIDL loans from the government. In particular, I got 200 grand that I have to pay over the next 30 years. So I woke up one morning, I saw 200 grand in my bank account. I said, oh, I'm rich. You know, I had 3 grand in there and now I have 200 grand. And it was ultimately a giant game changer for us because we were able to instantly deploy that capital into inventory. And I didn't have to start paying this loan. Honestly, I just started paying it maybe 6 months ago. It was that big of a, I think with the forbearance, or it wasn't due at all. And we only pay $1,000 a month for the next 30 years.
And you were able to just buy so much product, I'm sure, from that $200,000.
Yeah.
It's just been almost launched in that time period.
Yeah, it was 200 grand. So we were able to deploy it, start ramping things up. At the point, the guy I was splitting the warehouse with said, hey, I need more space. And he moved down the hall and I said, oh, I need more space too. I'll take the whole, it was just 1,000 square foot unit. I end up knocking out the wall next to me to get 2,000 square feet. And I really ramped up with that COVID loan, and it helped a bunch of sellers in the space. You know, and 200K was on the smaller side. You know, I know people that got $1 million in the EIDL loan money, and it really catapulted some businesses. Seriously.
Man, that sounds like such just an optimal and ideal time. The fact that it was really helping so many businesses. Like, not only were people getting these Amazon loans, I just know so many other businesses who are just receiving other small business loans during the pandemic. Yeah. It really was just such a crazy time to start a business right then and there.
Yeah,
I keep just trying to picture what this 1,000-foot square warehouse would look like 1,000 square feet. That's the size of just a small house, a large apartment. So the fact that you're able to fit, you know, all your inventory in there, it sounds like the perfect starting spot to move out from your basement to a first 1,000 square feet, then being able to have the opportunity to go to that 2,000 square feet. Sounds like you've been able to have a great growth. Are you still in that 2,000 square foot warehouse now, or have you expanded from there?
We recently, we're currently in a warehouse where I split it with a friend of mine. So the total size of the warehouse is 8,000 square feet. So I have about 4,000 now.
All right.
With very high ceilings. So we're able to stack it up, honestly, like a Costco. And the way we can kind of stack pallets up. So that's been optimal for us. There's plenty of space. And ideally, you know, if we get 10 pallets in, I want them out within a week. So there's that constant turn. We never want to really hold a lot of stock. If you're holding stock, you're not running the business properly. You need to be constantly turning this inventory, pushing more in, making sure that you're ordering correct quantities. You know, you don't want to be overbuying on products. You know, that's a big factor. You want to make sure, all right, I should be ordering for the next 30 to 45 days. That's it. And I shouldn't be buying for the year. That money can be deployed somewhere else rather than sitting on the warehouse shelf for, you know, 9 months. So, you know, it's important to kind of deploy your capital strategically, not put it all in one item or one brand. You know, send some to a distributor, send some to a few brands. You know, this game is very about going wide. You want to go very wide. You know, the goal is to have 500 different ASINs that are all selling simultaneously.
Yeah.
Right now we have anywhere from 250 to 300 different items that sell. And that's the goal. That's the only way you're hitting type of these numbers. You know, nobody's running a huge business selling 5 or 10 items unless it's a private label item that they created. That's a home run. You know, that's something like, you know, Scrub Daddy or something like that. And those are, you know, once in a lifetime type of products, you know.
I mean, I think that's one of the things that's so beautiful about Amazon FBA is you don't have to just create your own brand. You're able to just sell name brands where people are already going on and looking for Gatorade. You can sell your Gatorades on Amazon or just whatever name brand item. I mean, Amazon Marketplace is known for just its competitiveness. How did you navigate through the challenges and stand out with all the competition, just all the different sellers who are in the marketplace, and still being able to achieve just such remarkable results?
Yeah. So, you know, a lot of people on Instagram preach that this is an easy game. It's not. It's very difficult. It's you scroll on Instagram all day and it seems like an easy game, Amazon. But once you get into it and you start reviewing price lists, it's tricky. It requires a lot of capital. It requires good relationship skills. Being able to go to a distributor, meet the distributors, talk with the sales rep. These are all important things in order to build a successful Amazon business. What really keeps us ahead, I'd say ahead of the competition, is that we really try to focus on our local distributors, working with local distributors where they're delivering for free, having that sort of relationship with them. I was just on the weekend, I was just had a drink with one of my reps, a sales rep that I work with. So, being able to reach out on the weekend and say, hey, are you around this weekend? You want to go grab a drink, grab something to eat? Those are the things that make or break a business, having that relationship. We have distributors that call me first when an item comes in because they'd rather sell it to me than sell it to someone else. So being kind of, understanding and they're trying to make the sale and they're trying to, you want to be a friend with them. You don't want to just say, I need this price. I need this price. You want to help them out too. There's some times where we even talk with the distributor and say, hey, do you have a list of your old inventory? We'd like to take a look at it. A lot of these distributors and a lot of the sales rep that works for the distributors get small incentives and bonuses on selling old stock.
Yeah.
So if I can sell old stock for someone and the sales rep's happy, that's great. So when that next item that's good that comes in and he calls me, it's done. It's a done deal. So being able to, hey, I'll take some of that old stock if you can get me on this type of pricing for this item. Or, oh, I took all that old stock. Do you think, not saying that, but do you think you can help me out on this item? Because I'm taking a lot of this stuff that might take a while to move. Kind of working those negotiations and, kind of being very transparent with your distributor and saying, hey, I'll even say with some of my distributors, hey, the payout's $8.50 on Amazon. Your offer's $8. It doesn't work. Can you do $6.5? Can I make that $2 mark on that 25% ROI? I'm very transparent with, hey, the price is this. It doesn't work because this is the payout. And is there anything you can do? Just I'll even send screenshots of the payout and saying, hey, well, this is what Amazon's paying out right now for this item. And just being straight up with them.
No, I hear that 1000%. You just mentioned being able to work with distributors, taking a lot of their previous inventory. Product selection really plays just such a big, crucial role with the success of your Amazon business. How did you just identify these profitable niches and products to sell, especially when you're just going through and taking some of the old inventory people have, or finding things to sell? Like, how are you ensuring that you're still finding the profits that you need?
Yeah, well, we use a lot of data points. We're always in Keepa. We're always looking at the data and seeing, all right, what seller sold what type of units, even breaking it down to that, looking at buy box rotation, making sure that there's some sort of movement. We're obviously not going to buy something that doesn't sell at all.
Yeah.
But you know what? If I can sell 10 units in a month and it gets me a better price on something else, I'm open to it. Usually my big criteria in regards to buying something is, will it make me $100 in 1 month? Then I'm interested in buying it. I'm okay with buying something that maybe makes me $10 a clip and only sells 10 units a month. That hits my kind of internal criteria.
I hear that.
Because if you have 500 different items that are all making you $100 a month, that's very good business. And that's what a lot of people don't think about. Everyone's looking for the home run item that comes on once in a blue moon. Sometimes, yes, sometimes we have an item that makes us 15, 20 grand. Doesn't happen all the time. It's kind of just that, wow, there's an opportunity. Let's hop on it. This item's discontinued. It's no longer on the market. The price went up really high. Let's grab what he has left. And we see those once in a while, but ultimately our real focus is, making 100 to 500 bucks a month per ASIN, and having multiple ASINs running at the same time. That's really our sweet spot.
I mean, having multiple ASINs is almost a requirement within Amazon. Just so many products may only have 10, 300, 1,000 sales a month. So if you were only in just a few products, you're just always limiting yourself with the growth you're able to have. Going back to just talking about the distributors you're working with, how do you approach just sourcing your products and finding your reliable suppliers? Like, what kind of challenges did you encounter with this process, and how are you able to overcome them?
Yeah. So we did a lot of kind of Googling distributors in our area. The New Jersey, New York area has a lot of distributors. I would kind of drive into work and see a bunch of tractor trailers on the highway and kind of jot down, oh, who's that distributor? Grocery and so. Let me reach out to them. We've utilized tools like Smart Scout,
Yeah.
which is a good sourcing tool. We've kind of just even looked to see, all right, this guy's selling this item, what else is he selling? Maybe we can kind of get some sort of market share on that item. Let's reach out to the brand. And really kind of doing our due diligence, checking Amazon, seeing what products are on there, using Smart Scout, looking at our local network of vendors and distributors, and really kind of just making it work, and really making it work and not giving myself a no option, just saying, all right, we're going to figure this out regardless of how long it takes. So that's always kind of been my mentality. There's always times where, I've even thought like, how do I toss in the towel? This is getting crazy. It's a slow month. We're having a slow month. I start reconsidering things, but then the following month we do well. So there's this constant, ebb and flow of, having a good month, having a slow month. Summer months are slow for Amazon. And, we have to kind of keep that in the back of our mind that, right now is currently a slow month for me, but I have to think come October, November, December, we should be rocking and rolling. So that's always in the back of my mind, that we always have to look at from a year perspective. How is the whole year? Not just, all right, this month or this week is slow. You have to look at the bigger picture.
No, I hear that 1,000%. So when you just mentioned having these slower months, do you venture beyond Amazon to promote and sell your products, or do you still just trust Amazon for being able to move all the products you have? What's that look like for you? Like, are you on any other websites, platforms, or are you just strictly loyal to Amazon right now?
So we're strictly on Amazon. We do have eBay, but when when we have returns, like I sold a bunch of computer mouses that were opened, but they were new, but I couldn't send them back to Amazon. So I'll put them on eBay, just to really kind of get our buy cost back on those items. But everything goes through Amazon, all Amazon.
Man, I love that. Well, Alex, man, I really do appreciate just you being able to take this time, sharing with me and sharing with all of our viewers, just how you were able to just create such a remarkable company. I look forward to sharing this post with everyone else.
Awesome.
And again, just thank you so much for taking the time to come connect with us, and just share a little bit about how you were able to build such an impressive business.
Christian, I appreciate you having me on. This was awesome.
Yeah, no, I definitely enjoy this. We'll stay in touch here soon, and
Okay.
I hope you have a great one, man. Stay safe.
All right. You too. Take it easy.
Cheers. Bye, Alex.
Bye.